once used to know. Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop up the trains, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is now 7:26 in the morning. 8:26. Thank you, Roleza. 8:26 in the morning. And we have joining us for a cop chat this morning, Mr. Cornelius Ross, Sergeant of Police. Bishop, well, the Bishop will be joining us a bit later, but we have Mr. Dennis Douglas, member of the Police Oversight Committee, and of course with me, Roleza, this morning. So good morning, everyone.
Hi, good morning. It's always a pleasure to be
here. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. Very beautiful morning.
All right, now we now have
we have the Bishop joining us again.
Bishop.
For those interested in he's actually muted, so if you can unmute him there. Oh, he's muted himself. Okay. Good morning, Bishop.
Hi, good morning, and sorry not to be there in the studio with you guys.
That is fine. Thanks to technology.
Powers of technology.
Right? COVID
definitely.
But today we're going to explore the topic, the role and importance of the Police Oversight Committee in dealing with complaints this morning. So I don't know if you want to quickly go around the room, starting with the one in studio this morning, a little biased. The one in studio this morning, Sergeant Ross, and just introducing yourself and what are your roles, and then we'll go on to the Bishop and then Mr. Douglas.
All right, a little fun trivia. Mr. Sergeant Ross indicated that he was the one who actually started Cop Chat. So for those persons who look forward to this discussion, you have Sergeant Ross to thank for that.
Of course.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, as I was saying before, it's indeed a pleasure to be here with you this morning. My name is Sergeant Cornelius Ross, affectionately known as Junior. Most persons know me as Junior Ross. Yes, I've been a police officer now for the past 26 years. I've spent a lot of time at the Special Services Unit, at the Police Training School. I worked at Calais Corps, Kiana 1. I worked at CID. There are several other places that don't really come to mind right now that I would have worked. But I'm currently the deputy at the Police Public Relations and Complaints Department. I did some studies in public relations management. I also did studies in human resource management.
Okay.
As well. And that's just a little bit about myself.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So at this time, we'd allow Mr. Douglas to introduce yourself, please.
Hello. Good morning. Blessed morning to the listening audience. Blessed morning to the persons in the studio. My name is Dennis Douglas, and I'm a teacher for the part of my life. I was very active in the Teachers Union and was the Industrial Relation Officer who did most of the writing of the collective agreement. And I end my career as the local government officer in the public service. I'm also have always been throughout my life a community activist, founding member of the group Diamondites in Diamond Village, and been very, very active throughout my life in community work.
Okay. Thank you. And you are a member of the Oversight Committee.
of the Police Oversight Committee.
Right. Okay. All right. So, Bishop Davis, over to you.
Douglas. It's Davis?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't see that.
Davis, yes.
Yeah, well, good morning again. I apologize for not being there in the studio. If my internet becomes kind of choppy or crappy or whatever word you want to use, I apologize to the providers. But I am Wendell Davis. That's my name. And as Mr. Douglas said a while ago, I too started my working career as a teacher. Truth be told, I taught for close to 30 years. And then I moved into the corporate as IT manager. The reality is, what a lot of people don't know is that I was, maybe could safely say, was the first IT lecturer teacher in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So yes, and I think it's you who said earlier on that thank God for technology. Okay, I am fully familiar and acquainted with technology from that side. I also worked at the Bank of St. Vincent as the IT manager for a couple of years, and until I felt the stronger call to move away from that to go full time in ministry. I'd been the pastor of the Diamonds New Testament Church for maybe close to 20 years. And then 10 years ago, I was appointed as the administrative bishop of the New Testament Church of God in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia, the role that I currently serve in. Overseeing churches, New Testament churches in St. Lucia, in St. Vincent, about maybe 30, close to 30 churches, and maybe close to 5, 6, 7,000 members and a few other followers. And yes, I'm also, for the past 2 years, I think, Mr. Douglas, the chairman of the Police Oversight Committee. Something that I take very seriously, and want to ensure that we do what we are supposed to do and expected to do to provide oversight and provide what is necessary in this fair land of ours. Yes, sometimes I know my accent sounds kind of not so much Vincentian, but just to let you know, Sergeant Ross, I tell people that I speak 3 languages. I but this here's where you'd laugh, or listen, audience. One of them is the English language. I could do that. The other one is maybe Vincentian. I could do that, and I also have a personal language that I call the Wendell Davis language, that I that I flip into when I realize people not following me with the other 2. As soon as I begin to speak my own, then all of a sudden their eyes pop open and they want to make sure they know what I'm saying.
Well, please
So
leave the Wendell Davis language home today. I don't want to be confused with this interview.
but that's where I'm actually, yeah.
I'm in the police force, but what I'm new to is the oversight committee. What exactly is the role of the oversight committee? And I'm sure Sergeant Ross would explain the role of the public relations as well.
Well, the oversight committee really serves as the word said, oversight. We take, or we put ourselves in a position to take complaints from public as it relates to the police, to provide that independence, because Sergeant Ross will talk about what they do, but sometimes people have an issue with the police investigating themselves and the police being in charge of whatever complaints coming from general public. So we stand in that position, that role. A lot of people maybe still doesn't know that we exist, or sometimes unfortunately maybe believe that maybe we are not doing much. But I tell you that there are 3 members of the committee plus a secretary. And we open ourselves to take complaints, written complaints from the public, and investigate them. We seek the involvement and the cooperation of the police in terms of giving us the access to the respective officers. And maybe I might speak about this without going into detail a little later. Mr. Douglas, we have had one case where we actually had a police officer, a senior police officer that is coming into our office. And we interviewed him and talked to him about a particular complaint that we have had from a certain individual. And so that's the role we play. We take complaints from the public, general public, and once we look at them and we see that they are genuine, then we seek to get interview and to get access to the police officer, the files, whatever they have, so that we can provide that level of independence in investigating and make recommendation as to what we think the penalties or punishment or redress should be. Notice to make recommendations. So we don't have the power and the right to actually enforce the recommendation, but we make the recommendations to the relevant authorities.
Okay, so before we because we're talking about the oversight committee, but let's go the step just before, right? When persons need to lodge a complaint, what is that process like? What happens?
Well, Sergeant Ross is going to explain the role of the public relations, and then we could go into that.
Right.
Right. Well, when somebody is aggrieved, then they come to the public relations and complaints department. They lodge a complaint in writing. We at present we also encourage persons. So if you're able to write, or you have somebody who is competent enough who can write for you, then you can write your own statement, write your own report, you bring it to the department. However, if you choose to come to the department, you come to the department, you're interviewed.
And the department is at the police station?
It's at Central
Police
Station. Yeah,
okay.
it's at Central Station. So you just come, you speak to the sentry, you tell them that you want to file a complaint. They would point you out to the public relations and complaints department. You come there, we listen to your complaint, we see whether that it has any merit. Based on the merit, if we don't think it's frivolous or vexatious, we will listen to you. We take a statement from you in writing. After we would have done that, then the process is that we forward that to the
oversight committee.
No, not to the oversight committee. To the person who the complaint is against. We've signed it to
okay.
Right. Okay, so not to cut you, right? But let me ask the question before you continue.
Right.
So when persons come to the department, to the public relations department, they're lodging a complaint with police officers, or are these independent persons of the police force?
Police officers. They're police officers. But we are a professional department. I tend to say that we are hated by all. And my reason for saying that is that police officers, some of them tend to believe that we are on the sides of the civilian. And this,
okay,
you're right.
interesting.
Yes. And
I would have thought the other way, but go ahead.
No, police officers think that we're on the side of the civilian.
Okay.
So they think that we have a bias towards the civilians.
Okay.
And the civilians think because we are police officers,
Right.
police don't go against police.
Right.
So that we would be on the side of the police. So we find ourselves within a country or more or less, between a rock and a hard place as opposed to who will. But as I said, we are a professional department. I pride myself and the department on professionalism. We do our job without fear, favor, or affection. We make our recommendations as we see fit. As I said, the reports are lodged there. Statement is taken from the person. Then we send out what they call an allegation to the department where the person works. So the person who is in charge of that department would get the allegation. Also, we send a copy of the statement, of the allegation, so that the person could see what was being said, and then we give them a time to respond. And after that, if they have any witnesses or anything, we try to interview witnesses, whether by telephone, we would contact them, go out, try to get statements from them also to collaborate what the person would have reported. And after that, we put together a file, which is then sent to the Deputy Commissioner of Police, with recommendations. So we do a summation, send it to the Deputy Commissioner of Police, who then would forward it to the Commissioner, who would then make a decision as to, based on our recommendation, how he sees fit, and then send it back to us for us to dispense whatever judgment he would have come up with. And now, then this is where the oversight committee comes in now. So if the person think that the way how the case was handled, it wasn't handled to their likeness, then they can go to the police oversight committee for some redress. But it's also too, you don't have to come to the police in the initial stages.
Okay.
So so if you have a complaint about the police and you don't trust the police, as most persons would say, and you don't want to come and lodge the complaint there, you could also lodge your complaint straight with the oversight committee.
Right,
as well. Yes.
Because as you were speaking, I'm there saying, okay, so police take the complaint, they filter till let's say it gets to the commissioner. and then it might be passed to the oversight committee. Whereas, let's say, as you said, persons may have this opinion that police would not go against police, because we already have somebody commented, how can that be justified? Police reporting to police, So, the thing of it is that to hopefully, in the essence of not being biased, taking it straight to the oversight committee, I can understand that process instead. But if somebody does take that step, how do they go about doing that or making contact? Do persons know of that? Because we know of the public relations departments, but what about the oversight committee? Do persons know?
Well, we also tell people about that. Do we tell people that this is where they can do the different processes, and you can take that option as well as you don't even have to. You could file a civil suit against the police as well too. So the choices are yours, to take. Because if you don't trust the police and you want to go to the oversight committee, or you choose take the service of solicit the service of a lawyer, you could also do that.
Okay.
So we give persons option. We don't just tell them, okay, this is it, and we give them options. We tell them what you
at the point of coming to report, they're told that.
Yes, they're told that. Also, just to if I may interject a bit as well too, is that all over the world you go, and sometimes we watch television as well too, and you hear about internal affairs.
All right, so let me raise the question here, because somebody just said that. The person said, question, is there an internal affairs department in the police service? And is the conclusion of any investigation or complaints in the public domain? So yeah, talk about internal affairs one.
Yeah, so I was telling you about internal affairs. In other countries, what we call the police public relations complaint department, other countries call it internal affairs. Okay. So basically we act in that light. The problem that I think that persons would have too is like it's like an oxymoron. We're charged with the jobs to make the police look good, and still we deal with complaints.
You see, and that was going to be my question. How is public relations internal affairs? The public relations is supposed to defend the image of the police, of whatever business they're a part of, in this case, the police department. How is it that you're charged with protecting the image of the police force, but also receiving complaints? It's contradicting in a bit.
Well, yes, and we're trying to address that issue. We're trying to separate both departments. But in the light from I see it in a different light as well too. I understand that, and I totally agree with it. I agree with us separating both departments. However, I also see, because I pray the public should be treated with respect, and we rely on the public for a lot of information. We need to forge foster that long-lasting relationship with the public. In order for us to fight crime, we must have the public on our side. It is very important for us to have the public on our side, because we can't see it all, we don't know it all, we're not omnipresent, so we can't be there all the time. So that is where the public comes in. We need the public, and we need the public support. So if we treat the public with respect and we have them there with us 100%, then we'll see that is another measure in us to help us to reduce the levels of crime as well too. Okay. So I see that's important. So if we treat the public with respect, when the public come to the department to make a report, they leave feeling that they would have had their issue addressed and everything. Although we see that where the oxymoron comes in there, we still see it can play a part in terms of building the image of the police as well too.
I just want to remind the listeners that it's an interactive program. The number to call is 457-9997. Also the number to WhatsApp, same thing, 457-9997. We're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook at WEFM 99, I believe is the Facebook. I apologize, Kieran. Don't fight me.
All right. So at this time, we could probably allow Bishop Davis or Mr. Douglas to comment on anything that was said just before.
Yeah, before Mr. Douglas come in, I would like to comment. Because I understand the complexity. I understand with the police. maybe investigate or seem to be investigating themselves, as Mr. Ross said a while ago. But I also see what they're doing as maybe really protecting the image, because if the police, if the public can realize that the police have an independent part that is able to look at issues, then it really should raise the image of the police force. Where the oversight committee comes in, I want listeners to understand that it is an independent organization. Okay, it's independent. The only involvement that the government, whichever the government is, and let me just say that it is something that has been in place. And again, unfortunately, maybe the public doesn't seem to know, but the oversight committee has been in place from ever since, under previous administration, come right up. And they have seen the wisdom. That's the government of the day. Have seen the wisdom of trying to have a Christian, a bishop, a leader of a church heading the committee. I could remember people like maybe Sonny Williams and other people like those, Victor Job, and those had all been chairman of the committee, because it is felt, or it should be felt, that we should be independent and we should be in the interest of all. But we operate independently. We are appointed by the government, and customers, people, the public are supposed to lodge their complaints directly to us. You may ask, how is that done? Well, it is done. There's a secretary to the oversight committee that works in the ministry, Mr. Douglas, of, I think, legal affairs, or what we call the ministry now, one of those government ministry. But the complaint is lodged there by whatever it is, and then it is sent to the chairman. And then the chairman would look at it and call the committee, the other members of the committee together, and we investigate. We look at it and we see whether or not it is something that really needs to be looked into. We do our own investigation, and when it's necessary, then we call upon the police. I have gone with the previous commissioner of police, gone to him when I was appointed, and let it be known to him that straight that we want to make sure that it is not us against them or us against the public. We are here in the interest of the public and in the interest of everybody to make sure things are done fairly. And I think I've had his commitment to provide all that we need. And I intend maybe over the next couple of weeks or so to have a similar meeting with the new acting commissioner of police, so that I can lay the cards on the table and let him know that this is what we are about and this is what we are in for. We will give any complaint that we receive all that is needed. We'll look at it the way it should be looked at, and we will investigate it. And just to say again, before Douglas comes in, that we have had a senior, I think it was a senior police officer coming to us, and we investigate. We quizzed him. There's a lawyer on our board, and there's Mr. Douglas, and there's a secretary, and so we investigate him. We interview him. We interrogate him to make sure that what he was saying and what the customer had said, or the public had said, sorry, is lining up, and then we make our ruling. So we are an independent body that is responsible for providing that level of independence to the public. I don't know if Mr. Douglas have anything that you want to add.
Before you hop in, Mr. Douglas, I want to say something. I don't see the problem with policing police. I know a lot of people feel unsafe about it, but I feel like if it's anybody that knows the law and knows how to uphold the law, it's the same police officers. So if it's anybody going to hold police to a certain standard, it's going to be the same police.
Yes.
Internal affairs is something that we see on television that most people are familiar with, and it's always known that internal affairs are the least favored police officers in any department. And what I do believe is the contradiction is the problem. Now, I believe that you are right, that there should be a separation between public relations and what we don't know as, but what is the internal affairs of the police station, because their roles can be a bit conflicting. Go ahead, Mr. Douglas. Mr. Douglas, you're muted. So while you're on mute your mic, I also had a question for you, Sergeant Ross, and anyone can hop in on it. You said that usually when the complaint is sent to the police, they usually have a time to respond. How long is that time period?
Well, we give persons at least 2 weeks to respond to the initial report.
Okay, does severity of the accusation matter in time of in relation to how much time they're given to respond?
Well, that can also be taken into consideration. The severity of it, can be taken into consideration. And if persons, we find that persons are taking too long, sometimes we tend to follow up. We do follow-ups to make sure. And we also go a stretch further is that we have since started informing because we listen. Obviously we listen to these programs. I religiously listen to these programs at a morning. I switch from radio station to radio station to hear what is trending.
Keep it on ours.
To hear what is trending, so that we can address the various issues. And we hear all the comments. Some has merit, some to me has no merit whatsoever, but still, I am somebody who is open to constructive criticism. I think constructive criticism is very good. It could only build you as an individual, build us as an organization, build our department. So it's something that I am open to. And just to say, the Police Public Relations and Complaints Department was formed on the 4th of January 1999. So it's not a new department. It has been around for quite a long time. And the Oversight Committee, I think, would have been in place for just as long. It's just that, persons just don't know that it existed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
So
why we're here today.
Yeah, Mr. Douglas, I'd allow you to comment if you wish to.
Yes,
but
I will.
After.
The first issue of the police investigating the police is that I think the issue that the public have is a lack of transparency and feedback. So that if a civilian launch a complaint that goes against the police, just like in the court, where the public is informed that that the person was fined or the person was drilled, then the public see that there was justice. So if in the issue of the police investigating the police, if we look at the Oversight Committee, there's a recommendation and it was acted upon, then maybe on this program as well, it can be noted that Sergeant Ross was demoted to corporal because of an issue with a complainant. In that
that's why we need it to be separated.
Yes, so in that we build that confidence with the public that their claims are taken and dealt with seriously. In terms of the Oversight Committee, complaints can be lodged with the Ministry of National Security, and they would forward it to the chairman of the Oversight Committee. Our basic role, basically, is to create that trust between the public and the police. As the sergeant said, we cannot fight crime unless we have the public have total confidence in the police force. That is the level that we want to reach. And I'm hoping that in our next year of operation, that between the police public relations and the police oversight committee, that we can go into a few communities and do some consultation, listen to the public, because until we reach to the grassroots, until we reach to the communities where people reach to that point that they are confident that yes, if the police abuse a civilian, that there are processes to readjust that. If the police leak confidential information, that there's a process also to address that, because that is one of the critical issue that the public are complaining about, that they don't trust the police with information because the police themselves are leaking the information of who give them the information. And these are issues that we have to resolve in our effort to fight crime in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Okay, you actually touched on the question.
Roleza will have to stick up in there, unfortunately. We have to break for ads. But what I would like is for everyone on the live to stay on the live. We'll resume this conversation at 9:20. Everyone would still be here. We'll have to go into our bank rates, a lot of results on nostalgia, and we hop right back into the discussions because this is a very timely and important discussion, an informative discussion, because a lot of people don't know their rights regarding complaining against the police officers or justice police officers would face when they themselves break the law. So bear with us as we break for ads at this moment.
First National Bank says get the home you've always wanted with zero down. That's right, as we celebrate more than 85 years of being here for you as the first indigenous bank, we're giving 85 individuals 100% financing to achieve their dream of home ownership. This is possibly the most
We drill down to your core business strategy. We keep a pulse on risk to keep your operations healthy.
On your mark, get set.
Along the way, helping you to drive competitive advantages. At Lynch Caribbean, we have your back. Contact us today for insurance solutions, strategic risk advisory, and more. Call 453-3300. Email info@lynchcaribbean.com or visit our office in Beachmont, Kingstown. Follow Lynch Caribbean SVG on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, or visit www.lynchcaribbean.com.
Let's get your laundry clean and fresh with the widest range of washing machines and dryers in SVG. At Singer, choose between our West Point and Speed Queen brands with an array of washing machines with payments starting as low as $92 per month. Your laundry room wouldn't be complete without a Whirlpool or Speed Queen electric or gas-operated dryer, saving your energy consumption. Also in stock is our West Point washer-dryer combo for only $136 per month. One machine that does the work of two. No need to change machines, just toss in your laundry and forget about it. Whether your preference in machines is top-loading or front-loading, whether you want a 9-kilogram or a larger 15-kilogram washer, whether you're looking for a gas or electric dryer, we've got it all at Singer. Visit us today and get the washing machine and dryer that's perfect for you. Singer, your family company.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
Hurricane season can be unpredictable, but your business doesn't have to be. In the face of adversity, you need a partner that goes above and beyond. Choose the path of resilience and certainty with CNW Business. Through disaster recovery as a strategy solution, CNW Business will safeguard your critical data, maintain seamless communication channels, and help you bounce back faster than ever before. Visit our website, cwcbusiness.com/myopenbusiness to learn more. Remember, a safe business is an open business.
After a hard day's work, there's always the need to get rid of the day's stress. And you can do just that by joining the Evening Shade, Monday to Thursday, 6:30 until 7:30, on the clean, fresh sound of WEFM 99.9. The Evening Shade, soothing the nerves, relaxing the mind, right here on the 9. So join us for 1 hour of mellow power.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
The time in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is now 9 a.m. and it's time for your ECCB currency exchange rates brought to you by Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Brick by brick, piece piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase, starting small, building the future, doing more every day, doing more together. BOSVG, the bank we count on. BOSVG, our one bank together we're strong. Our nation's bank, standing long and proud. One bank, one voice, ain't it loud? BOSVG. Hey, building our future. Doing more together.
OSBG, doing more together.
Welcome back to your ECCB currency exchange rate brought to you by Bank of SVG for Thursday, November 2nd, 2023. The following are today's indicative rates in Eastern Caribbean dollars for key international and regional currencies. These rates will not apply to commercial bank transactions with the public. The Barbados dollar is 1.35, the Canadian dollar 1.95, the Swiss franc 2.98, the euro 2.86, the pound sterling 3.28, the United States dollar 2.7, the Guyana dollar 0.01. This has been your Eastern Caribbean Central Bank currency exchange rates brought to you by Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Brick by brick, piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase, starting small, building the future, doing more every day, doing more together. BOSVG, the bank we count on. BOSVG, our one bank together we're strong. Our nation's bank, standing long and proud. One bank, one voice, ain't it loud? BOSVG. Hey, building our future. Doing more together.
OSBG, doing more together.
It's about that time where we bring your nightly lotto results brought to you by National Lotteries Authority.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
And welcome back to your nightly lotto results for Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. The results for the nightly 3D draw for Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, draw number 13353 are as follows: Big D 021, Mid D 837, Little D 540. Again, Big D 021, Mid D 837, Little D 540. The next draw is slated for midday, Thursday, November 2nd, 2023. The result for the nightly Play 4 draw for Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, draw number 4433, is as follows: 0270. Again, your Play 4, 0270. The next draw is slated for midday, Thursday, November 2nd, 2023. This has been your lotto results brought to you by the National Lotteries Authority.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
I was looking for a cough syrup, looking for a drug to help this pain here in my throat. I needed something fast to help me with my cold. Then I turned around and there you go. I went into the store and I found what I needed when I shouted Super Health.
Super Health Pharmacy. We're located on Grenville Street, formerly Isles Boutique. Come in and check out our wide variety of over-the-counter prescriptions, medications, personal care products, and much more. Take advantage of our free delivery services, blood pressure, sugar, and cholesterol testing. Open Mondays to Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call or WhatsApp us at 497-8737 or 457-8737. Super Health Pharmacy. Your health is our priority.
And I found what I needed when I shouted Super Health.
Make this season merry with Quartz Ready Cash. Get all you need with a cash loan of up to $20,000 and pay nothing for 90 days. That's right, you pay nothing until 2024. Plus, you can enter to win up to $20,000 in the Ready Cash Mega Money Roadshow. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Apply online at shopquartz.com or visit your nearest Quartz or Ready Cash store and make the season merry with Quartz Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Boy, I swear you getting crushed, you know. Your brakes real good, boy.
Now brakes alone good enough. My tires good too.
Tires? Where you get them tires, boy?
Out by Caribbean Tire Plus, man. They out in Addersville. Can't miss it. Look for the orange container on them. Plenty parking space and open 7 days a week all thing, man. Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call them today. Caribbean Tire Plus, 784-432-4786 or email ctiresplus@gmail.com.
Cloud9 announces its blowout sale happening this week. From now until Saturday, November 4th, you get 50% off your entire purchase. Also, come and check out our yard sale happening this Friday and Saturday. Items will be at lower prices than ever before. See you there.
Nothing else sounds as good as
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
My dear Annie, I might have to say, so long, so long, so long. Sorry it didn't work out, but I won't waste no more time over you. Oh no, well with this life, I got better things to do. Oh, why should I waste precious time over you? Alright. You must check and no one needs me, so you'll play with my heart. Okay. Now why would I cry if you're leaving tomorrow? Check and see who is so bright. Why should I die if you tell me it's over? When will you realize every man needs a woman for comfort? Nothing to mix up the brain. So if you ever think for a moment that you can run this man inside, no way gonna waste no more time over you. Oh no, When with my life I got better things to do.
And the time is 9:10 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it's about that time we bring you your nostalgia, brought to you by OT Tires Limited.
Nothing else sounds as good as
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound. Whether you're ripping it up on the highway or taking a casual Sunday drive, OT Tire Limited is second to none when delivering excellence at reasonable prices. We offer new and used tires, tire repair and installation. We are the only place that offers nitrogen, which helps with gas consumption and ride comfort. Supplying you with brand name tires like Maxxis, Kumo, Good Ride, Westlake, and Triangle.
Boom! Enjoy the VIP style customer waiting lounge with refreshments and free Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying, yo? This is Skinny Fabulous, and when it comes to tires, nobody makes it easier than OT. Boom! Got me on the road with me OT car tire.
Follow OT Tire on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter today.
Hey, boom! Run the road with OT tires.
Girls, I'm fruits ripe. And I want good. I wanna just me. Here why? They allow.
Big it up.
Can you see your body ride a murder? You must want the DJ charge for a death.
Big it up.
When you see your body ride a murder, you must want the DJ charge for. Shot it up on your saddle, ride up on your back, exposing your property. Man, I say fun merchandise. Ever they never run out of stuff full of shit like a coke buckle without the top things that go for your body. Just me pan that. All fruit rhymes, so make them go and chat. What am I do? What am I try? Who them I try? Stop somebody rider away again. You have it in that, so me say. Woman, you say your body ride a murder. You must want the DJ charge for a death. Woman, you say your body ride a murder. You must want the DJ charge for it. Can't hold in a bucket, can't hold in a pan. Me I genuinely wonder want a fraction. The DJ want to know how she get it from. Body rider, the girl I use and a madman with the body rider. That killing now go out. If the face not the one, the body free a shag out, so she go check and just make a later down the south. Walk come and dance, come shag out, so me say. Woman, you say your body ride a murder. You must want the DJ charge for a death. Can you see your body ride a murder? You must want the DJ charge for no girl in a body shot. Please say them hot but them flow. Cause under them body jam black, so you fit man at the lola and deal with the case. Come to vocal dance and make up your face and make your make know you have a slice of the cake. Cause your body rider, it a mash up the place, so me say. Woman, you say your body ride a murder. You must want the DJ charge for a death. Can you see your body ride a murder? You must want the DJ charge. Pitch up on your saddle, ride up on your back, exposing your property. Man, I say fat merchandise. Ever they never run out of stock. Full of shape like a walk back without it up things. What for your body, girl, straight to the max. Jump and shock out, you are here, me non-stop the car. Woman, you see your body ride a murder. You must want the DJ charge for real. Can you see your body ride a murder? You must want the DJ charge. You can't hold in a bucket, can't hold in a pan. I just really wanna cry for your fraction, but your button want know how she get it from body rider. The girl I use and a madman without the body rider. That killing now go out. If I face now, so what the body fear? She go to she go check and just make her later down a sound. Dance a road and she want fish a goat and mag up on me and dance on the pole. Do the vocal dance and push up her mouth, so me say. Can you see your body rider murder? You must want the DJ charge for real. Can you see your body ride a murder? You must want the DJ charge. No girl in a body shot, some things say them hot but them flap. Cause under them body job black, so you fit ban at the loner, deal with the case. Come to vocal dance, skin up your face and make your man know, say how you run the place, so me say. Can you see your body ride a murder? You must want the DJ charge for a death. Wanna see your body ride a murder? You must want the DJ charge. Chance it up on your saddle, ride up on your back, exposing your property. Man, I say fat merchandise, ever they never run out of stock. Full of shape like a coke back without the top. Cry for your body, girl, straight to the max things. What for your body, woman non-stop. All fruit vibe, just trust me, pan that me yalla. Can you see your body ride a murder? You must want the DJ charge for a death. When I see your body ride a murder, you must want the DJ charge. It can't hold in a bucket, can't hold in a pan. I genuinely want to cry for your fraction, but your button want know how will she get it from. Body rider, she have a use.
That was Nostalgia, sponsored by OT Tire Limited.
Whether you're ripping it up on the highway or taking a casual Sunday drive, OT Tire Limited is second to none when delivering excellence at reasonable prices. We offer new and used tires, tire repair and installation. We are the only place that offers nitrogen, which helps with gas consumption and ride comfort. Supplying you with brand name tires like Maxxis, Kumo, Good Ride, Westlake, and Triangle. Boom! Enjoy the VIP style customer waiting lounge with refreshments and free Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying, yo? This is Skinny Fabulous, and when it comes to tires, nobody makes it easier than OT. Boom! Got me run the road when the OT car tire.
Follow OT Tire on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter today.
Hey, boom! Run the road with OT tires.
It's everything you'll ever want from everywhere. Real easy. Shop on the net. Use eZone Internet Delivery. Get your online shopping delivered right to your door. A revolution, your evolution. Go shop the world. eZone, eZone. From everywhere. Real easy. eZone. Fast, easy, affordable. Shop on the net and get it here through the eZone.
eZone St. Vincent, local agent to BMC agencies.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
After an absence of 2 years due to COVID-19 and the eruption of La Soufrière, the Evangelical Association commences its National Convention activities this year, 2023, bigger and better, with not one, but 2 convention services covering the leeward and windward sections of the island. Bayabu on November 5th, 6 p.m. at the Bayabu Evangelical Church. The speaker is Pastor Beryl Blake. Barley on November 12th at the Barley Evangelical Church, 6 p.m. Speaker, Dr. Renal Murray. Theme, Jesus, Lord of All. There will also be special music, testimonies, and dramas that will make the time memorable. See you at AEC's Convention 23 2B's venue, Bayabu, November 5th, 6 p.m. and Barley, November 12th, 6 p.m. Don't miss them.
On Friday, November 3rd, there'll be thousands of dollars to be won. A lotto jackpot of $265,000. A new home, car, or that college education.
Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
Next lotto jackpot, $265,000.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
Such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
And the time is 9:20 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we're back this morning with our cop chat. Now, unfortunately, we won't be able to have the open forum today because we're discussing the role of the Public Relations and Oversight Committee in the RSVG-PF.
But if you have
it is
questions,
it is an
in relation to this
interactive
topic,
program, and the number to call is 457-9997. The number to WhatsApp, it's also 457-9997. We have a few comments on the live. We have a few comments on the WhatsApp that we'll get into before we continue doing anything else. So Roleza, I don't know if you had anything to add.
Oh, right. No, I had a question. Well, Mr. Douglas sort of he addressed it in what he said, because the question I was going to ask was the outcomes of situations. Because okay, so what we note, and not necessarily to draw complete reference to, let's say, TV or even American news or international news, but let's say in a situation where there has been a public altercation, let's say between civilian and police. We have the issue of the van drivers and police, and there has been a little bit of tension between both groups of persons, right? Or seeming tension within society. And when there's video evidence that has been presented, let's say a complaint has been lodged, I think a lot of the times that we don't know what the outcome of these decisions have been, right? So in sort of restoring faith, in sort of restoring our feeling of there being a fair justice system or a fair process happening in terms of a police officer, especially if they have been in the wrong, them being disciplined, etc. It might be good for the public to know what has happened, because you're standing from the standpoint or the position of thinking that police will not go against police. And if we lodge a complaint against police, even if, let's say, something has happened in terms of them being demoted, the public doesn't necessarily know about it. So, it's about restoring that faith and letting us know that things actually do happen.
And I'll tell you this much. I've always felt that it's a bit unfair to persons when police bring charges against you, and whether you are guilty or not, those charges stick with you. Whether it's theft, whether it's assault, sexual, physical assault, once you're accused in the court of public opinion, you're guilty, and it sticks with you for the rest of your life. I think in balancing the scales, if a civilian accuses a police officer for something, then it should be publicized, regardless of the outcome, regardless of if they were disciplined, because Bishop Davis mentioned a senior officer is currently being investigated. We would like to know the outcome. What was he accused of? Was he found? Was he cleared of the accusation? Or would he be disciplined? I think these are things that the public need to know, besides from the general information put out by the public relations.
Well, I must say that all of your concerns have merit. I agree with what you're saying. However, if there's a public outcry, a public interest into the matter, obviously we tend to give feedback to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not something that is publicized, known to the public, as you would have mentioned the example that you used with a van driver and something that was captured on social media, that is making the wrongs. But we have also imposed started a strategy as well to that. What we would do is, if you are to make a report to the department after the matter is completed, we then get in touch with you and let you know what was the outcome. So you yourself get feedback. So even if the public doesn't get a feedback, the victim or the complainant do get a feedback as to what was the result.
Now, I'm sure you're aware of the video that a few weeks ago made the rounds on social media with the altercation at Peace Memorial Hall with the two traffic police officers, the officers from the traffic department, where one was restraining a civilian, a conductor, a van driver, and the other was punched that van driver. I was saying, I'm of the opinion that there are two examples happening there, one of proper policing and one of excessive force. So in a situation like that, I think it's in the public interest to know what would have become of that situation, because I'm pretty sure after reviewing the footage, that officer would have come under some sort of investigation, if not by you, then by the oversight committee. I'm sure Mr. Bishop, Mr. Davis, sorry, Bishop Davis, or Mr. Douglas could attest to that. But remember, you're muted. Yeah. So, Mr. Davis, you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I heard about the incident. While not knowing it in detail, I agree with you that things like those, the public.
All right, and there's the internet
Sorry.
problem he was
Things like
talking
those, the
about.
public
Yes.
need to know what has been the outcome. Need to know, because that's what we need to do in order for the public to understand that we are serious about what we are doing, serious about proper oversight, serious about proper disciplinary measures against anybody who has committed anything that seems.
All right, so that's
So we fill in the
internet
blanks,
given.
seem to have
In relation to the incident that I mentioned, the investigation that we have done, mentioned, we are in the process of doing the reporting. The secretary is kind of tied up in a few other things, but we're in the process of doing the reporting and make the recommendation.
Listeners, just bear with him. He's having a bit
All right.
of internet difficulties. But
Mr.
as
Douglas,
we
if
wait,
you feel to chip in at any point, maybe to help her, that's fine.
All right. So as we wait for the response, there are a few comments on the live actually, and there was one that caught my eye. Someone asks, "How do you handle whistleblower? Because if one officer sees another officer doing something wrong and he wishes to make it known, to testify against this officer, what happens
Or
in
even
that
just a
situation?
larger complaint.
Yeah, is the officer protected? Like what usually happens?"
Well, obviously, persons are protected because, we pride ourselves also on confidentiality. In some cases, I don't know, we have issues where if Roleza is to come to us and make a report against Ari, obviously, if we go to Ari, we have to tell him, well, this is what Roleza has an allegation against you in respect to this. But some persons want to come and make a report against somebody, but they don't want you to say that. How could we can't confront Ari without telling him what the report is about?
What about an instance? Let's say Ari is a police officer, but he has been seen engaging in criminal activity or associating with criminals, and I say that I have seen that. Is there a level of protection for that officer who's saying, this is what I saw Ari do, or I've seen instances of Ari doing it? What could happen there?
But every case has to be treated on its own merit. If it's a case where we think that the person could be endangered by what they're reporting, obviously there must be a level of confidentiality. If that doesn't exist, then I don't see where you're going to keep that confidential. So you have to treat every case on its merit.
But police officers can be protected in that instance.
Of course, they can. Right. Yes.
But Mr. Douglas raised an important point, and I'm sure it's Mr. Douglas, where he said that you need to go out in the community more. And I know community policing is very, very important. But I think like this morning, we can see your face on the live and we're hearing your voice. We know that we can go to Sergeant Ross and we could build a relationship with Sergeant Ross. And I think that goes a long way in mending the relationship with the police force and civilians currently.
Indeed, it is. As a matter of fact, Bishop Davis and Mr. Douglas and I would have had a conversation previously, and these are some of the things that we would have discussed. Because this is one of the reasons why we piloted this program alongside the management of WEFM, because we think that we should have a voice just about everywhere so that we can educate the public, edify them on various issues, such as this one. We have been on NBC Radio for a very long time with the On The Beat program. And now we are on WEFM. And maybe if we could partner with other radio stations to have program of such, it would go a long way, because the more we get to the public, is it better for us.
Right. And I mean, utilize social media as well, because people are constantly on their devices. So you and I were speaking off air about the situation last night, and me not seeing the poster with the missing girl on the Facebook page. So even in instances like that, to just be a bit more out there, because for me, authoritative evidence or authoritative information comes directly from the source, and in this case, it would have been from the police, right? So I mean, don't be afraid. Get persons. Well, I'm not saying don't be afraid, but you know what I mean. Utilize social media, because this is where people are going to get their first-hand information. Yes, persons listen to the radio, they watch TV and that kind of thing, but people are constantly on their devices as well. So.
Well, we have been utilizing social media as well. As a matter of fact, we had a program similar where we call it KSOF Protect. We did it every Thursday and from Central Station. And that program was going very well, but we encountered some problem. And so we hope to reintroduce that program soon, so that we could reach a lot more persons. Also, most young persons now are into TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram. So we want to also utilize these platforms as well.
And one of the things too that's a little bit so it's not necessarily to copy wholesale what is being done, but I tend to see these posts from Jamaica. The Jamaica police post that they're always
excellent.
And I just keep looking and say, but they really want a set of snitches coming out of here. But that's just me chuckling in terms of the way in which they lay out the information and the comments that they make, or them trying to get persons involved in being proactive or assisting the police. But that's just an aside. But I thought it was a very useful way in terms of getting the public engaged, even if it's in a humorous content.
They have a whole team dedicated towards that, as opposed to us.
Yeah.
Here at WEFM all week we had a listener making a complaint. Yeah, he's been messaging all week about a guy harassing him in the Calico area, and he's been making reports to the police, and nothing has been done. Well, he took it to the extreme. He said he feels like if it's when the guy kills him that something would happen, and they need to take the issue seriously. I don't know if you have a response for that. It sent a lengthy message, but that
information. However, at present, I could tell him he can get in touch with the Police Public Relations and Complaints Department so that we could look into the matter. The number to call is 485-6891, and that's our direct line. That's also available on WhatsApp. The same number, 485-68. Yeah, 6891. We also have our Facebook page, Instagram pages, so you can also message us to those medium as well too, and get the information. We could deal with it, look into it, and see what's the merit of his report.
And I could also attest to this. You can literally just walk into the Central Police Station, ask to go to the Public Relations, and they have an open door policy. You just walk in. If you want to lodge a complaint, if you want to speak to an officer, you can literally just walk up there and you will be dealt with.
So
not punished.
Can I just ask, just maybe for clarity, Sergeant Ross?
Sure.
Are you saying that instead of just lodging complaint to respective police stations, if a civilian is having an issue, that they can send the complaint directly to you or your committee?
No, what we actually deal with, because persons they have complaints against the police. Let's say they think a police has some animosity towards them, or a police station, they have been going to a police station, and the police at that station is not looking into their issue. In this case, he said that he has made several reports at the Calico police station, and he thinks the police is out there not looking into his issue. So then, in a case like that, he can come to the Police Public Relations and Complaints Department to make a complaint, to say that he has been lodging complaints at the station and he thinks that he's not being taken seriously. And then we can look into it. If there's a need for us to take a statement from him there and then send it to Calico, call Calico, or speak to the officer who is in charge of the South Central Division and tell them, well, this is the case, then that's how the matter is dealt with.
Yeah, and if I just continue, yes, if I'm just to continue, is that the case that I mentioned previously, that I'm not going into detail about it now, but it's similar to that, where a certain individual had complaints that the police in a particular area wasn't doing anything And that's the case that was brought to us, that we investigated and is looking into, and is in the process of writing a report to send back in terms of what should be done or whether or not there were merit to it. So again, thank you for that clarity, and I hope the public take note of that.
Yes, I hope so as well too. Because obviously, I mean, his report has to have merit. So if you go in constantly to report something and your report doesn't have any merit, it's not something that the police could actually do anything about it, then, I mean, I can understand that, but, it's just for him to get in contact with the complaint department so that we could see what is the merit of his report. So you can go ahead and do that.
Well, we have like 5 minutes remaining in this segment, so I don't know if you guys would like to say anything in closing. I know Sergeant Ross and Bishop Davis would like to say something, but Mr. Douglas, we barely heard from you. So I don't know if you have something to add.
Yes, I just want to raise again with Sergeant Ross. There's this video that was making it wrong with this lady and her son house being trashed. And one of the issues was that she said she called the police station and she was directed to call another police station. And I mean, there have been several complaints like that. Do the public relations department investigate those type of things? Because if I'm a policeman, I have the information. To me, it's easier for I to call the police station and say there's a crime that is taking place at Spring. And we have heard so many complaints that persons have raised along that line that they would call the police and the police would say, okay, I don't have transportation, is not available, or I'm going to direct you to call this other police station. When you as a police have the information and you can more quickly and more efficiently pass on that information to the nearest police station, why the public have to be given the wrong in those situations, and what is done when in these situations when it happens.
I understand what you're saying, and I concur with you. I am not familiar with exactly what you're speaking about.
The burglary in Pembroke on Monday, because we spoke about it as well. That it wasn't effective policing for her to call Kitters and Kitters telling her to call Vermont. Yeah.
Well, I understand that. I totally agree with that, because in policing, sometimes you have to use wisdom as well. You have to be tactful. I mean, if something is pressing and you have the information right there and then, even if somebody is to go to a station, based on the nature of it as well, too, even if it's out of your district. Sometimes what you could do a simple thing, if somebody come to lodge a complaint there, even if it's out of your district, based on most times you'd send them to the district that the offense would have taken place. But based on it, as I say, you have to use wisdom. You can also take the report from the person there and you forward it to the relevant authority. So person went to Kittels, you take the report from there, but it's a Vermont issue. So the report is dealt with there, but it is forwarded to Vermont.
And so people don't feel like again you're on a wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you just have
especially when there's a crime in progress. Because sometimes if there's a crime in progress, I will call who I know, whose number I have.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as you say, I agree. If that is the case, if what you're saying is true, that wasn't effective policing at all. I would agree with that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I really wish we had more time, because you probably don't know, but I had my own issue with a police officer, and it was public knowledge. It was in the newspapers, and I wanted to talk about it in light of what had happened, and I don't feel like I got justice in this situation. But that's because I went overseas, and it didn't make sense really going through filing a report and all of that. But I find this program and these topics quite informative and very important, because if we don't have these discussions, then there'll forever be the disconnect between civilians and police officers, and they'll always have issues where persons feel like they're being unfairly treated, like we saw when the officers, or was it security guard, removed the makeshift pot there around.
Yeah, it was the
tongue board. But I think there was some police officers there. Yes. But immediately, without knowing if what they were doing was legal or not, unfortunately, we can't take calls right now. Without knowing whether or not it's legal, the public immediately went to the police doing something wrong. And I feel like that is stuff like that is what we're trying to fix here with these programs. And I really appreciate everyone joining us this morning. And thank you very much for participating. I don't know if you'd like to take a minute to add any comments, maybe drop your social media handles, your numbers, how persons can get in contact with both the Public Relations Department and the Oversight Committee.
Right. So if I may go first. Okay, Bishop, I'm going to allow
No,
you
no.
to go first. Saying that I'm
Actually,
a student, I can always go last. You know.
actually,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say I was gonna ask Mr. Douglas to give the place that complaints can be lodged to. We're in the process of the secretary should have already created a unique email address so that people can use it to send their complaints if there are any. But Mr. Douglas can give you the information as to where they can lodge their complaints at the moment.
Well, you can lodge a complaint to she is the Senior Assistant Secretary at the Ministry of National Mobilization. Ms. Shalom is her name, and National Mobilization. So you can take your complaint to National Mobilization. Sorry, National Security, not Mobilization. National Security. And that the building now is opposite Grand Bazaar, where used to be the Kentucky, the original Kentucky upstairs. That's where the new office is. Upstairs subway. Yeah,
upstairs subway downtown. Yeah.
Downtown. So you can lodge your complaint there. And well, my personal number is 491-8559. So you can and we have Mr. Davis will give you his information. And we are always willing to listen to any complaint, any serious complaint from the public. Said we are not against the police. We try to be unbiased as much as possible. And as you said, the issue is transparency as we work to build confidence and trust in our police force. That is our main goal.
And quickly before I go, I want to thank you for having me this morning, having us oversight committee members on this program this morning. My own personal WhatsApp number, you can get me on WhatsApp, is 528-0101. Very easy to remember, 528-0101. I can be reached at that. What we're interested in at the oversight committee, listening audience, is that there must be effective policing, number one, and that there should be confidence between the public and those who are tasked with protecting us. Because if we, members of the public, doesn't have that level of confidence in the ability of the police to give us that protection, then there's always going to be that kind of tension between us, which we cannot afford to have in this time. So our role is to try to bridge the gap between the public and the police. We're not taking side. We're not anybody's side. We want to ensure that everybody is doing what they should do and receiving what they should receive at all times. So reach out to me, reach out to Mr. Douglas. The other member of the committee is Stephen Huggins, and the secretary, Mr. Douglas, told you a while ago there, that's where he lodged the complaint to the Ministry of National Security, the secretary there. And it's at a location where you can easily find, right upstairs, subway, across from Grand Bazaar. So it's good to be here and looking forward to hearing from you and to be involved in anything that needs to be involved in. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, and if I may just say, I want to thank you guys for consenting to be on the program this morning as well too. As I hear what I've said, and it's a very timely, informative program. It is important for us to forge that relationship with the public as police officers. The organization cannot fight crime on its own at all. So we have to build that relationship with the public. That confidence. Mr. Douglas would have mentioned trust, and we need that trust from the public. As an organization, we intend to embark on more public outreach programs so that we can inform the public on a lot more issues that we have. I also encourage persons to, you have ideas, because we by ourselves don't have all the knowledge. You can contact us, contact any police station, any police officer that you're comfortable with. You can get in touch with the Police Public Relations and Complaints Department. via WhatsApp, which is 485-6891. That is also our direct line, 485-6891. We have our Facebook page, which is SVG Police. We also have our our Instagram page, which is the same thing. You can contact us via email, which is relations.complaints. That is complaints with TS, not complaints as
What is it?
yeah. So it's relations.complaints@gmail.com. Even within recent times too, we have a multiplicity of islands. We have persons from all the Grenadines, and most times while we encourage persons to come to the department to make reports, it's not feasible for persons from the Grenadines, even persons in rural areas. So what we also encourage persons to do as well too is to, as I would have mentioned before, file their complaints through email, even if you sign it through WhatsApp, and we could deal with it from there. So you find some reputable person. If you can't write for yourself, or you can't formulate a good report, but if you can, kudos to you. Just send the report to relations.complaints, and we'll deal with it.
All right. Thanks
Good
again
stuff.
for
Good
joining
stuff.
us this morning. So the time in St. Vincent you're going to need is 9:46. For those who are confused, we took a little time to wrap up the